Good morning guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name's Laybourne, and I am actually doing an introduction for a new series that I want to start. I am 8 months postpartum and haven't really done anything to get back into shape or get things healthy again. I kind of just went down slope after having Isaiah. I have a bunch of different areas that I'm wanting to work on, and instead of just being like, okay, I'm going to do all this at once and just get it done, I'm focusing on different aspects a little at a time. This first week is going to basically just be an assessment. I'm weighing myself, seeing where I'm at, getting an idea of where I want to go, and I'm also keeping track of everything I eat just to kind of get an idea of where I'm starting at. And then the next few weeks I'm going to be working on different areas. Like the following week I'm going to work on our breakfast and getting some good stuff down for that and the importance of breakfast and things like that. I really wanted to focus on nutrition first because not only does that affect me, but it affects my son and my husband as well. What I'm going to do with this video is I am going to show you at the end of the week all that I ate through my log. I'm going to use Chronometer to figure out the minerals and vitamins, and as well as the calories and carbs and stuff that I ate, so I can have a good assessment of where I'm at and what needs to change, and then I'll make the changes in the following weeks. One of the other main reasons that I'm focusing on nutrition is that has actually been a huge area of issue in my life. I put way more importance on food than I should, but the main thing is that I use it as a crutch. It's very much an idol in my life. I'm going to stop the introduction here, and we're already kind of into the day, so I've already weighed myself and stuff like that, so I'm going to enter the clip of my stats as soon as I'm done with this. So I'm going to go and do my weigh-in, and we will start from there. Here is the results. So this is like one of the issues that I'm wanting to try and address and fix in my life. Is I just dealt with the boy for 30 to 45 minutes trying to get him to go to sleep. He was super upset. But in moments like this, when I'm dealing with issues or just get stressed or exhausted, I automatically want to turn to food. So like right now, I would want to just go and be like, do you know what? Had a rough day. I just need a break, and I'm going to sit and watch some TV and eat some chips or some popcorn, and I'm just going to veg. Well, the thing is, it's been a cycle, and I've been doing that, every other day, every day, whatever, and it's just getting worse and worse. So instead of doing that, I want to do other methods of trying to figure out how to cope with the stress of motherhood, I guess you could say. So because I'm, consciously aware and keeping track of what I'm eating today, I didn't do that. I got a kombucha instead. I'm still keeping track of everything I'm eating, and I'm trying not to make that be like, okay, I have to eat healthy because I'm keeping track. Like, I'm trying to do as I would usually do, but you can't, because I'm consciously thinking about, okay, I'm writing all this down, and it's keeping me from doing stuff that I would usually do. So that's why I'm at least saying, usually I would sit and eat junk food right now because I'm stressed. Today is Wednesday, and I am feeling like crap. I have eaten out basically every day this week. Monday I ate out for lunch. Tuesday lunch was brought to me. Today dinner is actually being brought to me. So I'm pretty sure that's a factor to it, but I just have no energy. I just want to veg all the time. I'm bloated. My comfy jeans are now too tight. It's definitely been eye-opening, just jotting down everything and looking at everything I've been doing so far in this week. Yeah, I really need to get this under control. And there it is, pizza again. I swear there's always pizza in this fridge, and it's so hard to turn down because it's so convenient. Today is Friday. Just about every day this week I've eaten some sort of junk. Yesterday was the only day that I didn't eat anything out. And I felt really good yesterday. It was more kind of like what I usually used to eat. But this morning I just feel like crap. I've had really crappy mornings because the boy hasn't been sleeping. But this has felt like one of the worst. But I can't just stay in bed and do whatever. I got a kid to take care of, so. I mentioned earlier that I focus too much on food. And what I was meaning by that is like I have done so much research on so many different things, and I'm constantly trying to learn this and that, and like, okay, what's the best way to do this, do that, and I'll do it for a little while and then drop it and end up right back in the same cycle. Like I've done tons of research on paleo, vegan, the maker's diet, keto, vegetarian, pescatarian. I've looked into the Daniel plan and just basically like hormone balancing and just all this stuff with food. And I do all these research, and then I'll try it, implement it here and there, and then I just let it go. So I spend all these hours figuring all this stuff out, and then I don't do anything with it, and I just end up in the same place. There's been tons of periods where I've lost a bunch of weight, and then it's like, yay, great, and then something happens, and I just let it go and end up right back here. I cycle between about 160 and 200, and I just go back and forth. So it's not so much necessarily that I'm trying to focus on getting the numbers down. That is a great way to measure it, but I'm more focusing on just getting a balance to my lifestyle, because I've got somebody that's going to be included in, you know, what I'm doing, and I don't want him to be in the cycle of, okay, I feel like crap today, so I'm gonna have pizza all day. I can't do that with him, and I don't want him to see me doing that either, because I don't have a healthy relationship with food. I'm an emotional eater. So these are things that I want to get in balance, especially with the fact that he's going to be eating what I eat and spending the day with me. And so I'm not planning on sticking to a particular diet. I'm planning on kind of cutting out carbs a little bit because I function a lot better. We've done Daniel fasts and I've done paleo and stuff like that, and my body just seems to function a lot better with less carbs. I'm not going, you know, I'm going to focus so much on fat or focus so much on meat. It's just kind of cutting back on the carbs. But at the same time, when we go out, we're going to be out. Like if we go to Applebee's, I'm going to eat at Applebee's. I'm not going to bring a lunch or whatever. And like when we go to a friend's house, I'm not going to be like, oh, no, wait, I can't have this because I'm on such and such diet. But that's not going to be like the daily thing. I want to get healthy at home, but also understand that like moderation is key. That's something I've never been able to really do, is just handle moderation. So that's one thing I really want to focus on with nutrition. I'm really trying to learn on how to just be balanced. Plus, I just want to feel better. I know that I feel better when I eat healthy, so I know that'll be a big factor. Although the sleeping thing is not in my control. That's somebody else. So today's Monday. I finished the first week of just assessing, so I have all my calculations and things done. I'm going to go through that and kind of get an idea of where I'm at. So what I used was this little book, and I also used the app Chronometer. So I entered in everything that I was putting into like recipes and things into Chronometer, and got the calculations from there, and then wrote them down in the book. So this way I have an outlook of what each meal was, whereas Chronometer, it's all just listed together, so it's hard to kind of figure out what goes where. So I did all that in here, so I'm going to go ahead and go through this. So the first page starts off with some goals and like basically where you're starting at. I didn't really use this too much because I didn't have any goals. I was just seeing where I was at. So you can see I still filled out the goals, but I wasn't really sticking to those. I just have an issue with leaving things blank. So I did fill that out. But each day I wrote down what I had for breakfast, what I had for lunch and dinner, and then snacks. The snacks aren't in the order of like when I had them during the day, but I kept track of the calories for the day, the protein, the carbs, and the fat, just to kind of get an overall aspect of where I'm at. And then after I finished the week, I also looked at some of the vitamins and minerals that I was lacking in to kind of get an idea of what I need to add into my diet, because I know there's already tons that I need to get rid of, but I also wanted to focus on what I need to bring in as well. So after going through the Chronometer, I figured out my average calories was about 2,600, but there were some days where it was way more. I was consuming a lot of junk food. I had a difficult week with the boy. He hasn't been sleeping. Today was the first day that he actually slept through the night again, so I feel like a whole new person, and it's amazing. But anyways, I was depending a lot on food to kind of give me energy boosts or make me feel better. So I ate chips just about every day. I ate out and had junk food for the majority of the week. There was a couple days where I actually did really well. There was one day where I ate like I was before having Isaiah, which was just like I had eggs for breakfast, I had a salad for lunch, I had protein and veggies for dinner, which was what I was using before I got pregnant, because I was losing weight before I got pregnant, and then got pregnant and just let it all go because you're not supposed to lose weight or whatever, but I wasn't eating healthy either, so I completely messed up there. But anyways, that day I actually felt a lot better. I was able to function a lot better, so I know cleaning this up is gonna make me feel a lot better. So then my protein was around 100 grams per day, which is, I think it's good. It could be less. It doesn't necessarily need to be more. On my good day, I was at 77, which I think 75 is a pretty good goal to shoot for. So that day I think I did where I want to be. Everywhere else was a lot higher, which is fine. I don't see anything wrong with having more protein. So throughout this time, I'm still going to be tracking what I'm eating, but more than that, I'm focusing on getting a routine or rhythm with things that we eat, so that way we have convenient, easy, healthy things to stick to. My carbs were definitely on the high side. I was doing an average of 230 a day, which is definitely way too high. I would like to be under the 100, but I don't know if that's gonna happen without like being completely restrictive. So that's what I'm gonna be watching for, but at the same time, I'm not going to be super strict on it. I'm gonna eat what I feel like I need to eat, as long as it's in the healthy carbs. That's the biggest focus, is just making sure that I'm doing whole grains, not processed, simple things to digest, like rice as opposed to flour and things like that. But that's the goal. That's what I'm shooting for. Fat was definitely way too high. I was at 120 average, which I'm not scared of fat. I have no issues with fat, but I do think that was high, especially since a lot of it was the not so good fat from the processed food. Like chips are obviously high in fat because they're fried in oil and things like that. So that's the bad fat, whereas like if I had a whole avocado and had the same amount, that wouldn't be the issue. I'm not quite sure where I want to be with that number, or if I'm even going to care about that number. It's just making sure that I'm having the good fats instead of just the junky fats. My sodium was extremely high, again from the processed foods. So I'm going to be watching that, but I think if I'm not eating things packaged, that one won't really matter as much. Now as for the minerals and things that I was low in, one thing I've noticed anytime that I've tracked what I've eaten, I'm low in potassium. So I'm going to try and watch that and see if I can get that up with adding more greens, and because I don't want to just eat a bunch of bananas because that's what everybody says has potassium. There's tons of foods that has potassium. There's yogurt and almonds and Brazil nuts, sweet potato, spinach. There's all sorts of other things that have it in, so I want to try and focus to incorporate those in so I can get to that 100% mark in the potassium. It's something I struggle with, but at the same time, it's not something I'm at the point where I feel I need to supplement with, but eventually if I go to the doctors, that would be something I would ask to find out how important it is for me to make sure that I'm hitting that limit, because I don't know exactly where I should be, and they would be able to tell me better with that. The other thing I was low in, and I was low in this only a couple days because I do take a supplement of this one because I have a hard time meeting it in my diet, and it really helps me sleep if I take the supplement, is magnesium. I take the calm water at night when I'm having a hard time sleeping, so that boosts my magnesium and I'm able to meet the amount that I should have. If I don't take that supplement, I don't usually meet it because I don't eat enough stuff with it in it. It's a harder mineral to get, and I find that if I have a dose of it at night, I tend to sleep a lot smoother. The other thing that I was low in didn't really surprise me because this is something that I've struggled with as well, like potassium, is calcium. I don't generally consume a lot of dairy, which I was eating a lot of dairy, which I think is why I wasn't as low as normal. I was consuming a lot of pizza, which has cheese and stuff on it, which has calcium. It wasn't really obviously a good source of calcium, but I think that's why I wasn't as low as I usually am. So when I'm creating these recipes for the days of the week and things, I want to focus on getting the proper amount of calcium. Not only for me, but also for Isaiah, because he's growing and he's going to need proper calcium, but I don't want to bog down our systems with so much dairy, so it's getting those alternative ways of getting calcium. So overall, this week, totally crappy. My mood was crap, my energy, everything was just junk. I ate horribly. I definitely have a lot I want to change, but I'm not going to do all of it at once. I weighed myself this morning, and I noticed that it had gone up. It went up. My weight had gone up by a pound, which I'm not really worried about because your water weight and things fluctuate, but it did see that with what I had been eating, instead of going down, I was going up, which as the time goes on, is just going to continue to do that. So that's obviously more proof that I need to do a change, which I already knew. Obviously, that's why I'm filming this video. It's an easy method for me to see if change is happening. I'm not focused on the number, but it's a good way to scale to see whether things are making a difference. That and mood and energy and everything else. Thank you for watching this video, and hopefully my journey will give you a little inspiration to do the same. No matter where you are, there's always more you can do to improve. I've obviously got a long road ahead of me, but that's the goal, is just to do a little bit at a time to make a greater change down the road. Thank you for watching, and subscribe if you want to follow my journey.